Hey everybody, welcome to the studio of Carini Arts. You can check out all the places you can find me on my Linktree on my page. I would love for you to follow me on all my other platforms. And I would love for you to check out the Art for Everyone podcast with Carini and Vinny, which you can also find right here on YouTube. We do our live feeds right here for you. And this is the first place they show up. So I'd love for you to check those out and I would love for you to share those. So, for today's talk, I wanted to talk about a situation I mentioned probably about a month ago. But I was working with, or supposed to be working with, the San Diego Watercolor Society. They had contacted me about being a juror for one of their shows. So, a juror, for those that don't know, is the person that comes in and picks the work that goes into a show. So, they say, oh, this is going to be in the show. Oh, not this. Oh, this. Oh, we're going to hang it this way. And so I had signed a contract about being a juror for the show, and one of my pieces was also going to be on display as the juror's piece. And I was going to write a little statement about the show, pick the award winners, whatnot. And so I submitted the work that I was going to include in the show, and I had picked something that I thought was really appropriate. I had picked a piece called Twitch's Last Dance. It is an homage to Twitch, the dancer who committed suicide at the end of last year. And I thought that that would be a good piece to show because the San Diego Watercolor Society is in what's called Arts District Liberty Station in Point Loma here in San Diego. And there are a lot of other artsy businesses there, including dance studios. And there was once there what was known as the Expressive Arts Institute. And so in 2017, I debuted a 5-year project that was a tribute to my father who committed suicide. I had spent 5 years on that project, and the Expressive Arts Institute, who focuses on art therapy, healing arts, had given me this wonderful venue to showcase my work for 4 months and to change the display, change the installation. There were graphics on the floor. There was a huge statement. I painted the suicide note my father never left and surrounded by 49 pieces that I worked on for 5 years, many of which nobody knew I had been working on. And everything kind of just came together because it had to be released in the spring of me being 33. So there was a lot of energy and a lot of passion behind that. And so I was looking forward to going back to Arts District Liberty Station and working with the Watercolor Society, who has more recently embraced acrylic painting. So I thought it'd be great. And I submitted my bio photo and all that. And they started to have some issues with me. Now, they said that part of it had to do with the techniques that I was using, that because I was using some spray based techniques, even though they were acrylic, that the aerosol was a problem for some reason. And they also seem to have some issue with some of the clothes that I wear, how I choose to represent myself. Now, I'm a full-time artist. I speak my mind. I am who I am. I try to help people. I don't try to hurt anybody, but I'm an artist. I want to express myself. Artists, that's what we do. If we can't express ourselves, who can? So the Watercolor Society started to backtrack and said, oh, maybe we should dissolve the contract. Now, I'm coming off of a traumatic brain injury from a crash at the end of July, and I've been struggling to recover mentally and physically from that accident. And so this was one of the few paid opportunities I was going to have. And so it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit that they would pull an opportunity away from a full-time career artist that's struggling like this. Now, that's not their responsibility. Maybe they didn't know, that is what it is. But then they said, oh, well, okay, well, we're going to send you another contract about dissolving the contract. And I kind of just ignored it. I'm like, look, I signed your contract. I've wasted enough time. You don't want to work with me. Cool. Don't work with me. I acknowledge you dissolving the contract. I'm not signing. I'm not giving you any more time and attention for this because you've wasted enough of my time. And then they said, oh, well, you know what? We feel bad about this. I think they started to realize how they might look in this situation. And I appreciate them trying to make it right. But at that point, for me, it was kind of damage done. Like, I want to work with the people that want to work with me. And if you don't want to work with me, that's totally cool. I still wish you the best. But I want to give my attention, my energy to the people that want to work with me. I want to feed the people that feed me. And so at the point that you pulled food off my table, I don't really have a lot of love left there. So I said, I don't even want your money. So yesterday I checked the mail and there was a check in the mail from them. And I decided to take that check, put it alongside one of my greeting cards, and send it back to them. I do not want money from somebody that I am not in alignment with. Now, I don't necessarily like say I'm going to go purchase something at the farmer's market. I don't need to agree with everybody's beliefs about everything to support somebody's business if I like their product or whatnot. But in this situation, I felt like I can't take their money And I felt like the payment that I received from this was really in the creation of the podcast, because this incident was really the catalyst that led to me creating the podcast, the Art for Everyone podcast, that is intended to welcome everybody into the conversation of art and not to exclude people because of how they may view art or how they may look or how they may dress or how they may approach certain things. So that was my compensation out of the situation. I don't want their $100. So I took the check, folded it up, sent it back, said, on principle, I can't accept this. So I may be a starving artist. I may be struggling, but I don't want money from somebody that I can't support, that I don't believe in. And I also don't want anything for free. So even though I am a starving artist, I want to work for and earn everything that I have. I do not want anything for free. I provide a service. And so I like to be compensated for my services. I did not provide the service here. Therefore, I do not want the money and I do not want to be associated with them. And I also feel like in returning the money, it's kind of the best way that I can say, F you. Not that I wish ill upon them, but, hey, I don't like the way that you treated me. I don't like the way that you treat artists. I don't think this is the way to go about it. I appreciate that they're opening up to new mediums and whatnot, but I still think that they have very antiquated and myopic views in terms of a lot of their patrons and their investors, their supporters, their people that donate to them. I think a lot of them are people that are retired that decide to take up art as a hobby. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. That's a beautiful thing. I encourage people to do that. But I think that when you come into the game late sometimes and that's all you have, you're only showing that one side of the spectrum. There may be those limitations in views and understanding. I think that somebody like me could have brought something incredible to the dialogue, to the conversation. I had offered to do media for them. I had offered to do speaking engagements. I had offered to promote them on a variety of platforms and to help them grow. And so I feel like the loss is really on their end. But so someone said it's so inspiring, honestly, to respect the grind of growing as an artist. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's tough. And I feel like because I do this for a living, even though I struggle, I have to set an example for other artists. And that's why I talk about these things a lot. It's like there's certain things that I might keep private otherwise, but I'm kind of an open book because I want to share the totality of the journey of being an artist. And I think that a lot of people out there that are influencers give this misrepresentation of things and give this impression that it's just glory moments and, oh, this is how you're successful. The journey of being an artist is like this. There's ups and downs. You can be successful as an artist, but it doesn't always translate monetarily. Conversely, it may at times translate monetarily. So it really is what you make it. And it's about finding creative solutions to your problems. And so when I had a problem here, when I felt like I was down and out, I said, you know what? Well, I'm going to start the podcast and that's going to be part of my journey moving forward. But I do have a number of other platforms you can check me out on. I am curious how you would have handled this situation and what you think. One of my buddies that I went to Edelman Fine Art with yesterday, one of my galleries, he said, dude, take the fucking money and run. And I said, I can't do that. He's like, well, my wife would say the same thing. So the podcast is called Art for Everyone Podcast with Carini and Vinny. But if you just go to my page and look under podcast section, it'll show it. So you can watch it right here on this page. You can also just click on my live feed section and that should show it too. But I appreciate all your support. I appreciate all of you making what I do possible. And this is the first time I think I've ever actually had 2 comments on a live feed. So fucking go me. So breaking those glass ceilings and reaching new levels. But that's one of the things I was thinking is that in the creation of this podcast, because the live feeds are housed through this platform, I'm going to be bringing on a lot of artists. Maybe I can finally start growing my YouTube page. And I've done videos here, these live feeds, these artist talks for years on a variety of topics and subjects. And I always said, I'm going to do the work now. I'm going to put in the hustle now. They will be housed on YouTube. And when my page finally blows up one fucking day, hopefully before I die, then those videos will start getting traction and those will blow up like a motherfucker. So I'm hoping that my YouTube videos may start getting a little more traction now. And in that case, maybe I can start giving a little more love to YouTube and being here a little bit more. But check out all the stuff. Check out my Linktree and all the other places you can find me. I'll see you next time.